Hey everyone! If you're a gardener or, just someone who cares about the planet, you've definitely heard of compost. We call it black gold for a reason. But what really makes it so valuable? Well, today we're going to dig in and find out.
So we all kind of take it for granted that, yeah, compost is good for the garden. But here's something to think about. Have you ever used one bag of compost that just made your plants explode with life, and then another that was, well, just kind of meh? It turns out there's a reason for that, a huge hidden difference, and that's exactly what we're going to uncover.
Because, and this is the key, not all compost is created equal. Not even close. On the surface, two piles might look and smell pretty much the same, but chemically and biologically, they can be worlds apart.
And the scale of this difference is just wild. Get this, a major study found that the amount of microbial life, all those tiny bacteria and fungi doing the heavy lifting in your soil, can vary by a factor of 20. That's a 20-fold difference. It's absolutely staggering.
And it's not just the microscopic critters either. The study found that key nutrients like the potassium that your plants absolutely need can vary by a factor of 11. So buying compost can seriously feel like playing the lottery. You just never know what you're really getting in that bag.
So how do we crack this code? Well, scientists decided to play detective. They launched this massive investigation to finally figure out what separates the super composts from the not-so-super ones. And we are not talking about some small-time test here. This was a groundbreaking study published in the journal Waste Management, where they took a deep dive into 107 different compost samples. For each one, they meticulously measured 67 different characteristics to get the full picture. And they really covered all the bases. They looked at compost from 5 different countries, they compared the stuff made on a local farm to the stuff made in a huge commercial facility. And they analyzed compost made from all sorts of different starting ingredients, what scientists call feedstocks, everything from grass clippings to manure to kitchen scraps. This kind of thoroughness is what makes their conclusions so solid. So after crunching all that data, sifting through all those variables, one single factor just kept rising to the top. It was the undisputed superstar, the one thing that explained most of the differences in quality. And that superstar is organic matter. So what exactly is organic matter, or OM for short? Well, it's pretty simple. It's all the carbon-based material that comes from things that were once alive. The absolute best way to think about it is like a pantry for your soil. It's both the food on the shelves and the shelves themselves, providing both nutrition and structure. And wow, the difference in how stocked that pantry was across the samples, it was huge. A 5-fold difference, from a measly 14% in some composts all the way up to a super rich 73% in others. And here's a cool little detail. The Belgian composts were consistently on the high end. Why? Probably because they have stricter quality regulations, which pushes producers to use better stuff from the start. Okay, so here's why this matters so much. Having a high organic matter content isn't just a number on a spreadsheet. It kicks off this incredible positive chain reaction of benefits in your soil. Let's walk through it. First up, it's simple really. A well-stocked pantry is going to attract a crowd. And in the soil, that means more organic matter supports a bigger, healthier, more active community of microbes. They're like billions of tiny chefs just waiting to cook up a feast for your plants.
And you can see it right here in the data. It's crystal clear. As the organic matter goes up, the total amount of microbial life just skyrockets. And check this out. See the two different lines? The top one, for farm-made compost, shows an even steeper climb. That suggests that stuff can be even more biologically alive. All right, next link in the chain. Organic matter isn't just food, it's also like a powerful nutrient magnet. It has this amazing ability to grab onto essential plant nutrients and hold them tight, stopping them from just washing away the next time it rains.
Now, there's a sciencey term for this nutrient magnet power. It's called cation exchange capacity, or CEC for short. Basically, it's a measure of how well the compost can act like a rechargeable battery for nutrients, holding a charge until your plants need to draw from it. And again, look at the chart. The proof is right there. The more organic matter in the compost, the higher its CEC. This means that rich compost doesn't just feed the soil life, it makes sure all those valuable nutrients stick around right where the plant roots can actually find them.
And finally, we get the trifecta. Organic matter feeds the microbes, it holds onto the nutrients, and, well, it is the nutrients. That material itself is jam-packed with the fundamental building blocks that plants need to grow strong.
And this is the final piece of the puzzle. That rich compost proves to be a fantastic natural fertilizer. It just plain contains more nitrogen and phosphorus, two of the big ones for plant growth. As you can see, in both charts, as organic matter goes up, so does the total amount of those key nutrients. It's a direct relationship. Okay, so we've dug into the science. High organic matter is king. But what does this all mean for you in your garden? How can we actually use this knowledge? Let's put this science to work.
First, let's think about farm-made versus commercial compost. As we saw, that farm compost can be an absolute powerhouse of microbial life. The trade-off? The study found it often comes with a higher risk of weed seeds, just because the composting process might not get hot enough in every single spot to kill them off. Commercial compost, on the other hand, is usually weed-free and very consistent, but maybe just a little less biologically active.
And what goes into the compost pile in the first place, the feedstock, matters a ton. If it's mostly green waste, like leaves and clippings, you're getting a fantastic soil improver, but it'll be lower in nutrients. But if it's made from manure or kitchen scraps, you're getting something much richer in nitrogen and phosphorus, something that acts more like a fertilizer. The catch? It might also have a higher salt content, which isn't right for every plant or soil type.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to this one simple idea, and the researchers who did the study said it perfectly. They wrote, "The OM content of a stable or mature compost is a first good indicator of the compost quality." It's that simple. Forget all the other complex numbers for a second. If you want one good sign of quality, look at the organic matter. This is what gets really exciting. This research shows that we can actually control and steer the quality of compost based on what we put in and how we make it. So I'll leave you with this thought. What if we could move past one-size-fits-all compost? Imagine creating designer composts, a specific blend for heavy clay soil, another for sandy soil, maybe a special high nitrogen mix just for growing tomatoes. The era of truly customized compost might be a lot closer than we think.